Have you ever wondered why the USA wields such global influence? A worthy question indeed. The story of the United States of America is a tale of audacious ambition, relentless progress, and a spirit of innovation. Let's embark on a journey back in time, to the birth of a nation that would grow to become a global superpower. In the late 18th century, 13 British colonies on the Atlantic coast of North America declared their independence, giving birth to a new nation, the United States of America. These early years were fraught with challenges as the fledgling nation sought to establish its identity, but the seeds of greatness were already being sown. The United States was blessed with an abundance of natural resources. Vast tracts of fertile land, expansive forests, and rich mineral deposits provided the raw materials that would fuel the nation's growth. But it wasn't just the land that set the stage for the rise of the USA. It was the principles upon which the nation was founded. Freedom and democracy were more than just ideals. They were the bedrock of the new nation. The belief that all men were created equal, with unalienable rights to life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness was revolutionary. This commitment to freedom and equality attracted immigrants from around the world, infusing the nation with a diversity of skills, ideas, and cultures. But perhaps the most potent force driving the USA's rise to power was the spirit of entrepreneurship. The American dream, the belief that anyone could achieve success through hard work and determination, spurred innovation and economic growth. From the invention of the cotton gin to the creation of the first transcontinental railroad, American entrepreneurs transformed the nation's economy, laying the groundwork for the industrial powerhouse that the USA would become. Yes, the journey of the USA, from its humble beginnings to its position of global dominance, is a fascinating tale. And at the heart of this tale are the resources, the principles, and the spirit of entrepreneurship that have defined the nation. It was these foundations that set the stage for the USA's ascent to global dominance. The USA's journey to global influence was not without its trials and tribulations. Step back in time to the mid-19th century, a period of significant change and upheaval for the United States. The Industrial Revolution was in full swing, and the nation was on the brink of a devastating civil war. These events would prove instrumental in shaping the USA's trajectory towards global prominence. The Industrial Revolution was a catalyst for extraordinary economic growth. It transformed the nation from a predominantly agrarian society into an industrial powerhouse. Factories sprouted up across the landscape, churning out goods at an unprecedented rate. This shift led to the creation of new jobs, spurring an increase in urban populations and birthing a new class of wealthy industrialists. However, the revolution was not without its challenges. The rapid industrialization brought about harsh working conditions and significant income disparity, issues that resonate in our society even today. Simultaneously, the United States was grappling with deep-rooted societal issues culminating in the Civil War. The war was a crucible, testing the nation's unity and resolve. The conflict, fueled by disputes over slavery and states' rights, ripped the nation apart. But from the ashes of this devastating conflict, a new United States emerged. The Civil War spurred innovations and advancements in technology and infrastructure. The nation's first transcontinental railroad was completed during this time, linking the country from coast to coast and opening up new avenues for trade and communication. The war also brought about the abolition of slavery, a monumental step towards equality and social justice. These events, the Industrial Revolution and the Civil War, were defining moments in the United States' history. They challenged the nation, pushing it to adapt and evolve. They shaped its economy, society, and identity. And most importantly, they laid the groundwork for the USA's future global influence. These were the defining moments that propelled the USA onto the world stage. The World Wars and the Cold War marked a significant turning point in the USA's global influence. As we delve into this era, we see the United States emerging from its shell of relative isolation and stepping onto the world stage with an assertive stride. World War I saw the United States initially adopting a policy of neutrality, only to later enter the conflict, marking the end of its isolationist stance. The war ended with the Treaty of Versailles, and with it, the United States emerged as a leading global power. Its economy boomed, its military strength was unmatched, and its cultural influence began to permeate across continents. Then came World War II, a global conflict of unparalleled scale. The United States once again initially chose neutrality, but the infamous attack on Pearl Harbor forced its hand. The United States' involvement was instrumental in shaping the war's outcome. Its economic and military might played a pivotal role in the Allied victory, further entrenching its position as a global superpower. But the end of World War II did not mean peace. It gave birth to a new kind of conflict, the Cold War. A silent war fought not on battlefields but through ideology, espionage, and economic power. The United States and the Soviet Union, two superpowers with polar opposite ideologies, were locked in a tense stalemate. However, the United States' economic resilience, combined with its cultural influence, eventually contributed to the end of the Cold War and the fall of the Soviet Union. The World Wars and the Cold War were crucibles in which the United States was tested and tempered. Its economic strength allowed it to aid its allies and rebuild war-torn nations. Its military might ensured victories on battlefields and deterred potential aggressors during the Cold War. Its cultural influence promoted democracy and freedom, ideals that resonated with many across the globe. These events not only shaped the world but also solidified the USA's position as a global superpower. The United States emerged from these conflicts stronger, more influential, and ready to shape the world in the image of its ideals. The end of the Cold War marked the beginning of a new era for the USA. As the Iron Curtain crumbled, America emerged as the unrivaled superpower, holding the reins of global politics. The post-Cold War era saw the USA taking center stage, leading the world towards a new global order. It spearheaded numerous peacekeeping operations, championed human rights and democracy, and even patrolled the world's most volatile regions. Meanwhile, the American economy continued to flex its muscles. 8 out of the 10 most expensive companies worldwide are American, a testament to the nation's economic prowess. The dawn of the digital age saw the rise of tech giants, with companies like Apple, Google, and Microsoft becoming household names around the globe. The USA's economic dominance isn't just about technology, though. The country also leads in sectors like finance, healthcare, and entertainment. But the 21st century hasn't all been smooth sailing for the USA. The new millennium brought with it new challenges. The horrific events of September 11, 2001, led to the USA's War on Terror, a conflict with far-reaching implications. The financial crisis of 2008 shook the world economy, with the USA at its epicenter. And now, the country grapples with the impact of climate change, political polarization, and the ongoing COVID-19 pandemic. These challenges have tested the USA's resilience and adaptability. They've sparked debates and inspired movements, pushing the nation to reflect, innovate, and evolve. Yet through it all, the USA has maintained its position on the global stage. Today, the USA still stands as a beacon of democracy, a hub of innovation, and a driving force in the global economy. It continues to shape the world, from the corridors of the United Nations to the boardrooms of Silicon Valley. It's a country that sets trends, breaks barriers, and constantly redefines what's possible. Despite the challenges, the USA continues to wield significant global influence. The USA's journey to global dominance is a story of resilience, innovation, and determination. The early years of the nation were marked by a pioneering spirit and an unyielding resolve to build a democratic society. This spirit was not without its trials and tribulations as the young nation grappled with the dichotomies of freedom and slavery resulting in the Civil War. But even in the face of this great conflict, the USA emerged stronger, with a renewed commitment to its founding principles. The Industrial Revolution was a period of unprecedented growth for the USA. It was a time when American ingenuity truly shone, transforming the nation into an economic powerhouse. The manufacturing sector boomed, railroads crisscrossed the country, and cities grew rapidly. Yet it was also a period of significant social change and upheaval, as the nation strived to reconcile its economic growth with social justice. The World Wars and the Cold War were defining moments in the USA's history. They tested the nation's resolve, its military prowess, and its diplomatic skills. Through these global conflicts, the USA emerged as a beacon of democracy and a global superpower. It was during this period that the USA truly began to shape the world order, championing the principles of democracy, freedom, and human rights. In the post-Cold War era and the 21st century, the USA has continued to navigate the complexities of global politics and economics. It has faced new challenges and opportunities in a rapidly changing world, Yet through it all, the USA has remained a leading global player, shaping global norms, driving technological innovation, and influencing global culture. The USA's global influence is not just about power, but also about the values and principles it stands for. It is a story of a nation that has constantly reinvented itself, faced challenges head-on, and strived to uphold the ideals of democracy and freedom. It is a story that continues to unfold, each chapter adding to the rich tapestry of American history.